Hello guys, while some crazy stuff is happening around the world, we are going to look at something cheerful and bright, which is the colorful gemstones in this case. I'm going to share with you the most fascinating jewelry pieces of the previous month, and the best part is that only 2 pieces were prompted by me in the terms of the design, and all of the rest has been created by you, which is awesome, I believe. So before we start, let me quickly remind you a few rules. Rule number 1, we don't publish the prices in these kind of videos because every single jewelry piece you see already belongs to someone, and that someone most probably doesn't want to have the price published. So if by any chance you are interested in a similar jewelry and you would like to create something like that for yourself, just text me directly in WhatsApp messages. You can find the number attached below the video and we will figure it out. I will give you the approximate range for approximately the same kind of the jewelry piece, but it's never gonna be exactly what you see in the video because every single one we make individually. Rule number 2, no negative comments. That is very important because, again, this is what the customers has created. And the most important thing is the customer loves what he or she had created. Our opinion, even my opinion, doesn't matter at all in this case. So if you are unhappy with the design at some point, all you need to do is just text me a quick message in WhatsApp and we will be able to create something of your own. So you would be happy with it, as now it's gonna be you who is the customer. So let's respect each other and let's get started. Number 1. As you can see here, we have got an absolutely beautiful red garnet with black hints hidden deep inside of it, and the design is one of the most popular ones. Many of you who has been following us for some time already know it perfectly well. That is Chinchok, or 2 little lizards. This symbol comes from the Southeast Asia. It is widely believed that that kind of symbol brings you the special charm and therefore love of people who are around you. But the most important, this symbol is supposed to facilitate in creating the families. So if you're after finding the spouse, that's what you need. Number 2, as you can see, this is a pendant. This piece is actually breaking my heart because it was very difficult to sell that one. Difficult, I mean, I wanted to keep it for myself because that kind of the gemstone is absolutely unique. It is at Tsavorite. And yes, the current owner, if you're watching this video right now and you ever change your mind and you want to get rid of the stone, I'm more than happy to buy it back, even if it's going to be more expensive. Usually Tsavorites are bright green, but this one is abnormally white, which is fascinating. And as you can see, there are myriads of little inclusions in that. Therefore, it looks like a little universe, and I absolutely love that kind of gemstones. Number 3 is an ASIC quite classic design for Sienna gems. If you look closely to the little elements which are holding the gemstone, you will see that they kind of look like the petals of the lotus flower. And lotus has 2 meanings. The meaning number 1, it is the development and the blossoming and the personal growth. But it also symbolizes keeping the purity of your soul in this dirty world, as the lotus grows in a very muddy kind of ponds. What concerns the gemstones, many of you who have been following us for some time already recognize this stone. I believe this is the Masai orange garnet. Don't forget to watch the video about mining in this very interesting place. Number 4, again the Masai orange garnets, and please pay attention to the design because the gold here is covered by rhodium, and that means that it's gonna be very difficult to destroy the initial look of this kind of layer. Of course you can scratch it if you try really hard, but generally that is very durable. If you get, for example, the rhodium layer on your rings, it might require, you know, some maintenance, but that happens to any kind of other rings. In terms of the pendants and the earrings, it will last like forever. Number 5, an absolutely lovely pair of earrings. I love the design, and here we have got again the lotus. You already know about the symbolism of it. And the gemstones here are very pretty polychrome garnets from Tanzania. They are not like very much polychromic, but you still can find both pinkish and purplish colors in that. So to me, that kind of looks like polychrome. And the little black spots is actually tiny black diamonds. Number 6 is the classic ring. As you have noticed, our company is not the biggest fan of the classic style, but if the customer asks, we make what we are asked to do. Now we have got the blue spinel here, and when it's sunny weather it will be bright blue. In the cloudy weather like right now, as you can see in the video, it's going to be a bit darker but still quite recognizable and nice. And of course diamonds, and of course gold. Number 7, very simplistic design, but the stone is amazing. Yes, it is a spinel, my beloved one. It is dark blue, a little bit grayish, but the most important thing is that it has got the beautiful, just amazing inclusions in that. So when you look at that kind of stones, at some point it starts to look at you. It's like wearing a starry night on your finger. Number 8 is the ring which has been inspired by Scandinavian motifs. As you can see here, we have got the raven. And the stone here is again a spinel, but please pay attention to the very unusual color. I mean, that almost looks like an emerald. And I believe the metal here is a blackened gold. And you shouldn't be afraid of the blackening, because even if it fades away, eventually it costs maybe like $15 to renew that. Number 9 is again a minimalistic design, and I believe this is how it must be when you play with the stone like it's Heverite, especially when it's that much perfectly bright and green. I mean, would you like to add anything to it at all? No, I don't think so. So that's perfect as it is. Number 10 is quite unusual design, I must say. Here we have got the tourmaline and the gold and the diamonds. And I would even dare to say that this kind of tourmaline deserves to be called a Padbaraja type. Yes, I am perfectly aware that we are supposed to call Padbaraja only sapphires. However, what do we see here? We have the perfect combination of orange and pink, and that is supposed to be the signature color of Padbaraja. So why not? I'm not saying that it is a Padbaraja sapphire, I'm just saying that this color reminds me of Padbaraja. So the owner must be actually very, very happy with this kind of purchase, because the stone looks exactly, well, almost exactly like Padbaraja sapphire, but costs like a lot less. And the bonus is that this tourmaline will look very different under different kind of lightnings, and all of the colors will be amazing. It will be something from the orange hues to darker pinkish ones. And that is actually much cooler even, because sapphires, especially Padbaraja sapphires, under different circumstances, they will be just their signature color, or they will be just boringly dark. Number 11 is another tourmaline, and yes, again we have got both orange and pink colors here, but they play in a different manner. Obviously cannot wear that like on a daily basis. Well, that's understandable, taking into consideration the size of the gemstone. But as we all know, cocktail rings are not for the daily life, they are for cocktail parties. Number 12, this is on the opposite, is the daily ring, meaning that you can wear safely it in your daily life without being afraid to damage or lose the stone. Very modest, very minimalistic design with perfect little aquamarine. And yes, that is a natural color of aquamarine. If you see something like, very vivid blue or turquoise, most probably this is not a natural one. And just a heads up, the best aquamarines, the natural ones, are coming from Madagascar. Number 13, the gemstone, as you can see again, is an aquamarine, but the design was a challenge because the customer wanted to create something really airy, really delicate. It took us a few rounds actually to create the design which would finally satisfy the person who had ordered that. But we made it, and everybody's happy now, and I'm happy as well because it appeared to be like just a fantastic, I believe. Number 14 is a very interesting bracelet. The stone here is the tourmaline. It's like grayish green, and in the gloomy weather it becomes almost like the twilight spinel actually, and you know, I absolutely adore that kind of color play. Number 15 is a mesmerizing tanzanite, bright blue. And if you want to see how the tanzanites are mined and how do they actually get this kind of amazing blue color, please scroll a bit down and find the video from the minings there, because I have been there personally. And again, I will never get tired of repeating that instead of buying a sapphire of the same color for like a really big amount of money, it's much easier to get a tanzanite. It is the same white, it is the same blue, but costs much less. That is the bonus of this stone. Like, look at this ring. The sapphire of the same color and the same size will be, well, it will be most probably over $100,000. And a tanzanite like that, like 10 times less.